Okay, so hi everyone. Welcome to Ask Me Anything with HRwithEM. As you all know, my name is Emmanuel Michael. I'm a leadership and career success coach, and I'm really glad you could join me today. Kudos to the first person who joined, TJ. This is our monthly space to talk openly about career, leadership, and workplace issues. So I need you to feel free to drop your questions in the chats or raise your hand. I want this session to be interactive and practical. And for those who will be watching the replay, or if you're watching us via YouTube, you can use the comment section to drop your question. I will come back to respond to all the comments on YouTube. And so if you're watching and you enjoy what you see, please invite your friends to also come and join you. You can share the YouTube link with them so that they can join, or you forward the link to join this meeting and they can hop in directly into the meeting and question directly. Let's dive in. I received some questions earlier, and that's what I want to go through. So we'll start with those questions and then we take it from there. So as soon as we are through with the questions that I have online, I will then look through the charts and begin to answer some of the questions. So we're going to be very swift and fast today. I'm trying to set my clock so that in 45 minutes, I expect that by 6:45, we should be rounding up. Okay. So I got some questions and I'm going to start addressing some of them. The first question that I got, it's about the new tax law. So I think the first and the second. It's about the new tax law. This person is asking, the new tax law, how does it affect our payroll as against the previous one? And then the second person just said payroll and tax laws. Okay, so as you all know, there are new tax laws that have been signed, one setting up a new tax regulatory authority. So before now, or currently what we have, you have the state tax board, you have the federal tax board. But what is happening now with the new tax law is that both the state and the federal are now being combined such that everything is centrally processed and then distributed to the various states. That's one major change. The other change that I've also seen is that most of the things now are going to be automated. And so every month there has to be proper filing. Part of the regulation is that organizations will need to have software that can integrate properly with the tax authority. So basically what this is telling us is that you can't run away from paying tax. You know, some people are already used to shortcuts where you avoid or evade tax. What this new law tries to do is to ensure that nobody can escape paying tax. Okay, so now coming to the payroll. So I'm not an expert in payroll, but what I'm going to share is that in terms of what effect is it going to have on your payroll? From what we've read in the tax law, so there are still some gray areas. How is the tax authority going to implement this? From what we've read in the tax law, there's a provision that says people who earn 800,000 per annum and below are automatically exempted from tax. And then those who earn above will pay slightly higher. And then by the time your annual salary gets to either 50 million or 100 million, you'll be paying very huge amount of tax. So the purpose of the tax law as drafted is to ensure that people who earn more pay more money than those who earn low pay a little bit less. So the difference, there is some sort of difference, right? There's some sort of difference. So the expectation also is that all the multiple taxes that organizations pay will be regulated and controlled by this. So on the payroll side, there are certain things, certain major changes that you need to be aware of. So your rent allowance, you know, before we used to have this consolidated relief allowance. So it's been adjusted. So there are just very few reliefs that you will get. So relief on rent, but for you to get a relief on rent, there's need for you to submit evidence. So situations where you share an apartment and your name is not on the rent agreement, there's going to be a problem. You're likely not going to be able to claim rent relief. Okay, so it means that if you are sharing an apartment and you are contributing to the rent, you need to make sure that your name is on that rent receipt or the rent agreement. That's very critical. That's the only way you can prove that you actually pay rent, because you need to show evidence to be able to claim the relief. So that's basically what I'm going to do. So I'm going to drop, send to all of us at the end of this session, a copy of a summary that shows some of the changes that you should be aware of as it pertains to payroll. But in a nutshell, what you should expect is that your tax is likely going to be lower. However, expect that compliance is going to be very strict. So you must show evidence for everything that you have. So the tax office people can just pop in anytime to the office and demand for evidence of the reliefs that you are claiming. Okay. So let me see if there are any comments. Okay. Let me see if there's a comment. Okay, Martin said you can see the screen. Great. So let me have a thumbs up if you're all still there. If you're all still there, let me have a thumbs up. Okay, great. Okay, so people are still in the house. Okay. So let me move to the, so that's it about the tax law. So what I'm just doing is just to summarize, okay? The major change is that people earning 800 and below, no tax, but above 800 per annum, there will be some tax. And it's slightly reduced, but not major reduction. And then those who earn more will pay heavily, okay? So for being on the call, you will get a copy of a document. Emmanuel Moses, please make a note for me. We will send that document to everyone. Immediately after the call, you get the document. So it summarizes the tax law for you, so it makes it easy for you to know what to focus on. But just know that there is need, if you're an HR person, there's need for you to make sure that for every relief that you are claiming, there is a backup. Okay? You must create a backup. And a very good friend of mine has done something on the tax. I'm also going to share that link. So it's very detailed to show you. You also have a template that you can use for payroll, just in case you don't have a payroll software. You need an Excel payroll software. So I will share that immediately after this call. So let's see the next question that we have. How do we create a culture where interns are paid and don't have to have all the requirements before they can get a job? A true internship training while being paid. Okay, so thank you very much for asking this question. But this is a very interesting question. Why did I say it's interesting? This person is asking that you want to be trained, right? And in the course of being trained, you want to be paid. So the question that comes to my mind is, if you are attending a school to be trained, who is supposed to be paying who now? Is it the person receiving the training or the person giving out the training? That's what you should be asking. So if you are an intern, you are there to learn, right? So an intern is like an apprentice. So do we then say that the apprentice gets to work where he's learning the trade, and the apprentice master will now be paying the apprentice for learning? That's exactly what internship is all about. Internship is learning. You are going there to learn. So what has happened is that you've been to school, you've learned the theory part of your course in school. Internship is an opportunity for you to be able to put into practice the things that you've learned. So I'm now asking myself, who should be paying who? Is it not the person who is learning that should pay for getting practical knowledge now, outside the theoretical knowledge? So that will be my answer to that question. Okay. However, what organizations have done is to provide a stipend. Okay? The stipend is just to support that particular person. So do not expect that when you go for an internship, that do not expect to be paid. Okay? It's expected that you are learning. So because you are learning, you should actually be the one paying. So if the organization is able to make provision for some sort of stipend, I think we should be very grateful that the organization is providing that. So after the internship now, you've acquired that experience, you can then begin to charge. So if you look at the word learn, L-E-A-R-N, you have to learn before you remove the L and begin to earn. So if you haven't learned anything, why do you want to earn before learning? So you learn before you earn. Okay? So that's my answer to that particular question. So learn before you earn. Okay? Let's see the next question. How well can a new staff manage or navigate office politics? How well can a new staff manage or navigate office politics? So I did something on office politics, so I'm also going to share that video, very detailed interview around office politics. So office politics is not always bad. And incidentally, I'm writing a book on office politics. So when the book is ready, I'm going to share it with us. Okay. So office politics is not completely bad. Office politics simply means the ways and means by which resources within an organization is distributed, okay, for the benefit of people within that particular organization. That is simply what a good office politics is. Office politics is not all this backbiting, manipulation. That is not office politics. Okay, it is manipulation. That's what it is. Backbiting. That's what it is. So office politics basically talks about how do you distribute resources. So when we talk about managing office politics, what you should be having at the back of your mind is managing stakeholders, right? In every organization, there are stakeholders. There are people who are power brokers within the organization. There are those who can influence things, right? So when you get into an organization as a new staff, the first thing you should do is actually to try to study and analyze everyone within the organization. Understand who, in the way you attend meetings, try to read body language. Who is it that speaks most? Who is it that when they speak, the CEO listens, okay? Who are the people that when you want to get an approval, you need to see them before you get the approval? What you then need to do is for those people who you know that are likely going to block your initiative or proposal, take that initiative or proposal to them, okay? And when you get to these people, don't prescribe what you want to do. Share the problem and try to get their own idea or input as to how they will love, first of all, to understand if they share that there is a problem, okay? So when you've done that, if they now acknowledge on their own that they see that as a problem, so you are making progress. The next step will be to find out from them if they have an idea of how they think this thing can be solved. So if they don't have, at that point, they are likely going to ask you, so would you have any thoughts? And that now gives you the opportunity to share your own solution that you have. And they will weigh it and say, okay, I think it's a good suggestion or a solution. And then you try to get their buy-in to say, okay, in the next meeting, I would like to share this. What do they think? And then if they concur with you that, yeah, you can go ahead and share, they're going to support the idea. So you see, you've won them over to your side. That's basically how to use or navigate office politics within the organization. So that by the time you get to the meeting and you are sharing that idea, they might even be the one to bring up the idea and say, okay, yeah, there's this challenge that we have. This person has some very good idea on how we're going to solve. Please tell us more about the idea. So already, what you are presenting will sail through with ease. So that's basically how to navigate office politics. So if there's anyone within the organization that you feel is a stumbling block to achieving your goal, then it means you need to find a way to bring the person close by giving them the solution or the idea that you have. Let it look as if it's their own idea. They are the ones. bringing up that solution, but you know that you are the power behind that idea. If they need more support, they get stuck, they will come back to you. So you don't have to say, okay, I must be the one to present the idea because it's my idea. No, you can actually present your idea through those people that you think are blockers. So I hope I've answered this question. So I've made 2 promises. I'm going to share a video link on office politics, my interview. It's on YouTube, so you're able to watch it. And then if you have further questions, please feel free to drop them on the YouTube or send them to me via email. So you can send to me via email at hello@enmichael.ng. Okay, so are we all still there? How many are we in the house? Okay, about 14 of us. Okay, great, good. So if you need, as I answer the questions, if you think you need further clarification, drop them in the chat. I will come to the questions on the chat soon as I am through with all these questions that came in while we're planning the session. So the next question, let's see, this is a very big one. Wow. Okay. This person says, as the new head of credit and marketing at Shalom Microfinance Bank, I've noticed a disparity in the compensation structure for marketers. While all other staff members receive their cost of living allowance mid-month, marketers are excluded. Moreover, if marketers fail to meet their targets by the end of the month, their salary is effectively halved, with only the COLA, which is cost of living allowance, being paid out. Is this policy fair and equitable for marketers, or does it create an unfair burden on this team? Okay. So, how will I answer this? This is a brilliant question. So when you are in an organization, the terms of engagement, okay, will not always be the same. And most organizations, what they try to practice is to see that they align the compensation to the productivity that they expect. And especially if you are in a sales position, your performance is sales. So if you don't sell anything, it means there is no performance. Okay. So most organizations try to tie what they pay to what you produce or what you sell. So if I were you in this position, I would tell myself effectively that I'm a commissioned employee. So I'm on commission. There is a 50% or half that is paid to me as a fixed pay, just maybe to enable me run around. So my major money is in the production, right? So it means that the more I produce, the more money I should earn. If I don't produce, I just get that fixed allowance. So most sales positions, that is the way they are tied. So, and most times you notice that people in sales usually earn higher than every other person who maybe are in the operations, the processing part, because you need to bring the business for this other one to be able to do to get their work done. Okay. So, and as the business is coming in, those processing will continue to process. So most sales positions are commissioned. Okay? Even though you say yes, the salary, but because it's tied to the productivity, tied to how much you're able to bring in, it's a commissioned position. So that is somehow general practice in most places. So it's not unique to this particular organization. That will be my answer to that question. So whether is it unfair burden or not, the question will then be, if I don't like a sales position because the way sales salaries are structured is that when I produce, I get more money. If I don't produce, I don't get anything. Then it means that I want to change my career, move away from sales, and move to those that will just expect me to do certain things, and my salary is paid at the end of the month. However, it's also expected that those ones who are also doing processing, there should be a proper KPI that can be measured to show whether they are contributing value or not. Okay, so I hope I've been able to help this person that asked this particular question. So let's see the next question that I have. As one who is trying to transition from customer relationship to HR, what are the things I need to learn that will help me in my career? So what I would say is, when you want to transition from one career to the next, whether it's HR or any career at all, the first thing you do is to get the job profile for the new career, right? When you get the job profile will tell you the sort of responsibilities that are accomplished by that particular career, the person requirement, the job requirement, you see all that, right? And so what you need to do after getting that particular profile is to sit down and analyze what are the capacity, the knowledge, skills, and abilities that you have, right? Then compare it against this job requirement. So because you're coming in from customer relationship, there are certain skills that you have acquired that you can transfer into HR. So when you've done this analysis, you'll be able to see where there are gaps. So where there are gaps, which might be the technical knowledge, HR technical knowledge, it means you need to then have a plan on how to close those particular gaps. So there's a video that I have on my YouTube channel. That video talks about how to develop your career roadmap, I think. Something, developing your career roadmap. Developing a career roadmap that works. So that video guides you exactly what you need to do in order to build that roadmap. So if you watch that video, you'll be able to have a guide. So, but if you still need further help for me to guide you on how to do this analysis and come up with an action plan, feel free to reach out. I'm going to be sharing a link where you can book a one-on-one with me. Okay, so because I've mentioned the YouTube, so let me share the YouTube just in case you are not there, you're not subscribed to it. So this is the YouTube link, YouTube channel. Okay, so that's the YouTube channel. So subscribe to the YouTube channel, and then you would see that particular video on how to develop your career roadmap. So in summary, what I'm saying is what you need to do, get the job profile for HR, okay? So let's say you get HR officer job profile. Look through HR because that will be the entry level for you, HR officer to supervisor, manager before you become a director, right? So get the HR officer job role, job profile, analyze and create a gap analysis between your current knowledge, skills, and ability, compared with that profile. The gap that is identified, then you now need to put in place a plan on how to close those gaps. So some of them could be training, some of them could be getting a coach to guide you, some of them could be, especially if you're in Nigeria, you're practicing HR, you need to be a member of the CIPM. So maybe you need to write the CIPM exam, okay? That will give you the technical knowledge that you need. Okay, so I hope I've been able to help this person with their challenge. Let's see the next question. How do you set up your performance management framework for any organization, especially companies that do not want to budget for performance management solution or HRIS? How do you manage office politics? So I've talked about office politics. How do you feel when you get a no from the board? Okay, between monetary and non-monetary incentive, which do you think improves employee engagement more? Wow. So this is a mouthful of questions. So let me tackle them one by one. Let's start with the first one. How do you set up performance management framework for any organization, especially companies that do not want to budget for performance solution? So you don't really need a software to get your performance management system up and running. What you need are simple forms, right? And you can get these forms developed in Microsoft Word or Microsoft Excel. So there's a template or a link that I'm going to share. So that's 3 things now I promised. So please, Emmanuel, help me make notes of the things that I'm promising I'm going to share. There's a template that I will share that will guide you on what to do with performance management. So the first thing you do is the simplest way to start, right, is to ensure that for every job role, there is a KPI. That's the simplest way to start. Just get a KPI for every job role. So you take the office assistant, what are the KPI for office assistant? You pick another role, what are the KPI for that particular role? And then when we've now created KPIs for every job role, those KPIs are exactly what you will use to measure the performance of that particular person, right? And those KPIs can then become standard. The next thing you then do is to create a form that you will fill those KPIs on, okay? And then the next column will be how you assess, where you will then assess. So you can have two columns where you have self-assessment and manager assessment, right? With a rating. You can do this in Excel. You can do this in Word documents, right? When you've created that sheet, that's all you need for a company that doesn't want to invest in any money. But before you start, you need to first of all discuss at the management level and agree that there is need to put in place a performance management system to measure everyone's performance and ensure that what they are doing will help the organization achieve its goal. So all these KPIs, what you then need to do when you've created all the KPIs, standard KPIs, you then see how do you link it to the objective. What objective does the organization want to achieve, right? So you then take an office assistant. So maybe the organization, say for instance, is a, give me an example of an organization. Who wants to give me, just type in the chat, give me an example of an organization, and then let's see what we will use. Are we still there? Can somebody type in the chat? Give me an example of the organization so that maybe I can be a little bit specific. Hospitality. Okay, so let's take hospitality, right? And let's say we take a waiter. Okay, we take a waiter. And the waiter is in the restaurant, right? And they need to serve guests. So the KPI could be in terms of serving the guests, taking order, right? Maybe they need to take the order within a certain minutes, right? That's one. When they take the order, they need to reconfirm with the guest that the order is correct. And they need to also deliver the order within a set time, let's say 15 minutes, 20 minutes, or 30 minutes. So if the order is not ready within the set time, which is 15 minutes or 20 minutes, they need to go back to the client to let them know and apologize and plead with them to give them extra time for the order to be ready. Let's assume that's what you need to do, so that at the end of the day, the clients will be excited that even though they delayed me, they were in constant touch to ensure that I'm not angry and that I'm still happy. Okay, so let's say that is the KPI for that particular waiter. So what you then need to do is you capture that KPI. So one, the objective of that restaurant is that whoever comes in there will live happily and give them a 5 rating, right? So what we then need to do is that at the end of each week or at the end of each day, we will review all the customer feedback ratings that we got. We'll see, are we getting a 5? There's a table 5 that was served or table 10 that was served. What was the rating for that table 10? So if it's a 5, it means that the waiter who served that table is doing exactly what he or she is supposed to do. If the rating is poor and there are comments, then it means that we then have to take it to develop this waiter in order to ensure that they deliver on all those KPIs that will make the guests to be happy, delight, and surprise that particular guest. So that's basically how you link those KPIs, okay? So like I said, you don't need a big system to start. You just need to have KPIs for everyone, then get a simple Excel sheet or Microsoft Word document and fill it out. How do you manage office politics? So I've shared about office politics already. Identify the power stake brokers within the organization, walk through them. Anybody that you think is going to be an obstacle, walk through them. To find a way to speak to them. Then when people see that you come to them, you know, especially those ones who feel that they are power brokers, they feel excited and that, this person came to me, let me support their idea. How do you feel when you get a no from the board? So no means next time, next opportunity. Don't always expect a yes, okay? And the board will give you a no because they don't understand what you are sharing. The way to get a yes from the board is to find out what is it that piques the interest of this board, okay? Every organization wants to see how they're going to make money. So if you are presenting something to the board, you must show them how that thing you are presenting is going to help them achieve them. First of all, identify what is the goal that they want to achieve as a board. So if you know that goal that they want to achieve, then what you are proposing should help them double that thing that they want to achieve or increase it by a certain percentage. That's how you get a yes. So if you just go and present an idea, you will get a no, because I can't tie it to what I'm doing. After all, I've been running without this idea and I've been making money. So if you bring the idea, how is it going to help me? Because you now want me to spend money. So if I need to spend money, I must see return on investment. Okay? If you don't show return on investment, you get a no from the board. Between monetary and non-monetary incentive, which do you think improves employee engagement? So one thing you need to know about engagement is that if any employee who is not engaged cannot be engaged by the organization, there is nothing you do that will make the employee to be engaged. Okay? So the first thing is self-engagement. Employees need to be engaged. You need to be happy with yourself first. You need to love what you do first. Then before that little incentive that is given will then propel you to do more. So if you come into a job and you're just coming there, not because you are taking up this job because you love the profession, you're just taking up this job because there is nothing. So you just want to, oh, let me just be going there so I can get money for my daily bread. That person is already disengaged. So there is nothing that you will do that will make them engage. Maybe you give them a little bit money, they'll be excited. One thing with monetary reward is that the satisfaction and excitement with monetary reward lasts only for 30 days. After 30 days, there's no more excitement. You want more money. After 30 days, you want more money. So what organizations should do is to look through and find out what, apart from money, what are the other things that will make people to enjoy working in that particular organization? And those are the things you need to do. Money is good, yes, but it's not all about money. It goes beyond money. So there's organizations that will pay you huge money, but you will work in a very risky place that you might even die the next moment when you are exposed to some of the dangerous chemicals, hazardous things in that particular place. But they'll give you huge money. Excuse me. So they'll give you huge money. So money is not the only thing. So the environment in which you work, the people that you work, the tools that you need to get your job done is very key. Okay? So those are some of the things that will help improve engagement. But the number one is that the person must be engaged themselves. If they are not engaged, there is nothing you can do that will make them to be engaged. So let me see. I don't know if that's all the questions that we got in. Yeah, that's all the questions. So I have special offers for us. But before we get to the special offers, let me now look through the, what do you call it now? The chat box to see what sort of questions we have there. So I think we're doing well with time. We want to stop at 6:45. So the first one, let me see how I'm going to move through this chat, okay? Let's see. Okay. See, so I have Adeola. Adeola, okay, you said good evening, you are audible, thank you. Can't hear again. I can hear TJ, yes. Okay, I can see the screen, duly noted. Okay, so Eki Moses, he said, so my question is this: when is the best time to leave a job and go for another? Okay, the best time to leave a job and go for another is when you are no longer valued in that particular job. When the organization no longer sees the value. So for me, when I join an organization, I will give myself a timeline, okay, in my mind, that this is how long I want to spend in this organization. However, it's conditioned on why am I there, okay? Because in getting to that particular place, I have a purpose for joining that organization. So I expect that I will contribute value to the organization. I also expect that the organization will also contribute value to me. So if I get to, before I get to the time period I've set in my mind, if any of us is not fulfilling the purpose for which we entered into this partnership, then it means that is the time to leave, right? So let's say, for instance, I stop getting value. I feel my contribution is no longer respected. It's no longer appreciated. It means it's time for me to leave. So I'll now begin to search for opportunities outside the organization. So by the time I submit my letter of resignation, I've made up my mind. It's not the time where you now want to discuss and negotiate with me, but I will have tried to see how to change that situation. Okay, I will have engaged with the person I report to see how we can address the challenge that I'm faced with nicely, without any fight. If that challenge is not addressed and I see that it looks as if there is no way, then I'll begin to look outside. While I'm looking outside, I will be doing my job very well. There was one organization where I left. People didn't even know that. I submitted my resignation letter, but with the way I was working, they were not sure whether I was still going, because you say you want to go, but the way you are doing some things, it looks as if you still want to remain. So until that day came and I left. Okay. So that is the best time to leave. The best time to leave is when you notice that you are no longer valued in that organization, or you notice that you've done all you need to do. There is nothing new you can bring to the organization. So don't wait until they ask you to go. It means you need to begin to plan your exit. So I hope I've helped you with that question. With your nearly 3 decades of experience, what would you say were the top 3 most impactful moves you made in your career that you believe we should be thinking about as mid-level career professional? Top 3 impactful moves. I think it's 1. There are no top 3 impactful moves. You need to continually learn, improve yourself. The more you improve yourself and showcase what you can do, opportunities will always show up for you. So that is what has helped me. So all the opportunities that have come to me is because the more I get into a particular place, I try to solve problems, right? Solve problems. When I solve problems, I showcase the problem that I have solved, okay? By saying what the situation was, what I did, and how it turned out. So, and then I have to continually learn. I'm always reading, learning, researching. That's the only way you can set yourself apart from every other person. So that will be the most impactful move that I've made in my career, is to learn. I'm still learning. Even right now, I'm still learning. I'm enrolled in some courses right now as we speak. In fact, this morning, was it this morning or yesterday? I think yesterday, I submitted an assignment and I had to write to my professor to say, please try and grade this because I want to take in more courses starting September 1. And I just got a reply this afternoon. My professor had marked my script and I got an A, 96.5 or so. So I got an A. So I'm reading every day. I'm still reading right now. Okay. So that's one big move that you need to make if you want to make a difference. Question, please, can you recommend a program or community an HR professional like me can volunteer in and join to elevate his career? So there are several HR communities, right? So one that I'm a very strong member of is called the Association of Elite HR Professionals. Association of Elite HR Professionals is aehrp.org. So you can visit their site and you can join and you'll be able to volunteer. Then if you are a member of CIPM, you can also volunteer with CIPM. That's another HR community. So you can volunteer with CIPM. Okay. If you are practicing HR, it's very critical that you are a member of CIPM. If you're not a member of CIPM, then you know you are, I would say, a quack HR in quotes. So get your membership, write the CIPM exam or join them and you can volunteer. So there are several CIPM chapters across, you can volunteer there. How did you build huge following and how can someone build such? So by huge following on social media, it's very simple. Just continue. As I learn, I share, I learn, I share, I learn, I share. And the more I learn and the more I share, people get attracted to me and they keep coming back, right? So that's basically how I grew. There's no special magic. I just kept sharing as I learned. And when people have challenges, I also provide advice. Okay. I think that's okay. One more question. How can someone learn directly or become your mentee? So very simple. I'm going to show us something. You want to learn directly with me. There are several means that you can reach out to me. So I'm going to share that in the special offers. Let's see what else we have there. Hospitality, punchline. Any employee who is not engaged by himself or herself cannot be motivated by anyone. Correct. What is your take on job hopping to scale your career, say 1 or 2 years? Okay. So when you get into a job, if you leave within 1 year, you've not made an impact. You've not made your mark in that organization. So I would usually say stay beyond a year, okay? Because it takes the first 6 months for you to get acclimatized to that organization, and it takes maybe another 1 year for the organization to see your impact. So that even when you are moving to another organization, you can show what you did in this organization, and you're able to measure the impact of your contribution. Okay? And usually it takes sometimes 12 months for you to measure the impact of your contribution in that organization. So stay beyond a year before you move. So what movement does for you is that if you find yourself in a particular organization and you are not growing as you expect, when you move to a new organization, because of what you've done in this current organization, the new organization will pay you higher, place you higher. That's what happens. So let's say you are stagnated in your current organization, you're not seeing promotion. It's an opportunity for you to look outside and then get that promotion that you want. So you are either promoted within or without. Okay, let's see the next one. What is the best time to leave a job and go for another? So I think I've answered that question. So that's it. So let me just move straight to, we are 6:46. Let me share the special offers for those who want to know how to work with me. So let's see what we have. The first special offer that I have is a bonus job search tracker. So you can take a screenshot of the QR code. I will drop the links in the chat very soon. So if you're searching for a job, there is a video that I did, it's on YouTube, about resilient job search. I encourage you to watch that video, but this job search tracker would also help you. So you can download this job search tracker, watch the video, and then you're able to put these into place. So this job search tracker, why you need is that to help you stay organized and focus if you're searching for a job. It will help you track every job, follow up, and the outcome, okay? It will also help you measure what is working for you and adjust your strategy. So inside the job search tracker, you will find a tab that is for job applications. The next tab is for networking tracker. The next is your weekly goals and reflection. And the fourth is the skills and learning. You know, I say that I learn every day, right? So you need to learn every day to improve yourself. So you have, while you are searching for a job, you need to be learning. So that when you get to the job interview and they ask you, so what have you done to develop yourself? There was one interview we did, and the recruiter was asking the candidate, so in the last 6 months, how have you invested in your personal development? And the guy was just looking around. He has not done anything. Okay, so you need to be learning every day. And especially now that we have AI, you need to make sure you improve your AI skills. So how do you use this job search tracker template? Daily, you log every application and schedule follow-ups. Weekly, you review your progress and refine your approach. And the template is already formatted for you, okay? So you can download it at this link, take control of your job search, track it, improve it, win it, okay? The next thing is those who want to work with me, want me to be your coach, okay? So I have this exclusive offer for everyone who is on this call and everyone who's going to watch the video. But this offer is only available for the next 24 hours, okay? So if you want to hire me to have a one-on-one clarity coaching with me, the regular investment is 180,000, okay? But because you're on this call, you will get 75% off. So which means you'll be paying only 45, or you'll be investing only 45,000. That will help you to gain clarity on your career, and you have a proper action plan on what to do to get to the goal that you set for yourself. And so usually when anyone books this call, the duration for the call is 30 minutes. But because you're on this webinar, I'll be extending it. So as soon as I see a booking from you, I'll be extending it cover an hour. So you have 1 full hour, 60 minutes to chat with me on your career. And what are you going to get? You have a one-on-one personalized coaching call with me. Clarity, you gain clarity on your career paths and your goals. You also get strategic guidance for your next move, okay, for those who want to move. And then we will come up with an action plan, which will be written, black and white action plan, what you need to do, when you need to do it, and how you need to do it, right? And then I also provide you with follow-up resources that will help you. Like some of the resources I promise that you will get more and better resources, right? So I've said this offer is only valid for 24 hours. So by 6 p.m. tomorrow, it will expire, okay? After that price, it will revert to a promo. So I'm currently running a promo. So instead of investing 180, you can invest 90. If you don't take advantage within the next 24 hours, it will revert to the promo price, right? What else do I have for you? Okay, so the YouTube channel, there are lots of resources on my YouTube channel. Go to the channel, subscribe, watch, invite your friends. Those of you who want to become global HR leaders, there's one very beautiful video you need to watch from beginning to the end. Make note, whenever you're on that channel, make sure you have a notebook or notepad with you so you can note down the things that actions you need to take. And then we have a job seekers community. So if you are searching for a job, you are welcome to join this job seekers community. Basically what we did there is to share job opportunities, right? Verified job opportunities. We share them on the channel. And then you have opportunity from time to time to engage with me in that particular community. And every month we have an Ask Me Anything session like this. So for those of you who are interested in professional public speaking, so I have a friend of mine who is organizing ABC of public speaking for professionals. That's the link. You can chat her up on WhatsApp in order to get more details. I'm going to drop all this link in the chat now. I will also be attending this one. So if you register to attend, you will see me. I will make a special appearance throughout the Saturdays. I think it's every Saturday in the month of September. So I'm going to be there. Yeah, Saturdays in September. Yeah. So between 6 to 8 p.m. I'm going to be there every Saturday. So you will get to see me in that class. And if you're having struggle with your finances, another friend of mine is also running a free. This is completely free. So this other one is a paid session, okay? The public speaking is a paid session, but the Legacy of Wealth is a free session. So I encourage you. There are several speakers that are going to be there. I've attended some of their programs for very powerful session, masterclass, okay? Financial literacy, mentoring, masterclass. You will learn a lot on how to manage and grow your wealth. So I think that was basically all that I have for us. Let me see now if there are chats. So let me drop the links for all these, all the links so that in case you need them, you can just copy. Okay. So these are all the links. Good. So you have them there. Okay. So are we all still there? Can I see thumbs up? Okay. Let's see. Okay, I'm just trying to scroll through the. Yeah, okay. So Emmanuel, please just what you do for me, send it to me via WhatsApp, right? Send it to me via WhatsApp. Those things that I promised, 3 items that I promised to share. Okay, so are there any final questions? Because we need to round up. This is 6:54. We can't stay beyond 7. We need to leave beyond 7. Any gift? Yes, the first comment. You have a gift. You get a gift of a book from me. Since you are in Lagos, let's chat. Send me an email. Send me, for being the first person on the call, send me an email to hello@enmichael.ng, and I will arrange. You will visit my office. I will present you with a beautiful book for your career. and we share the pictures. Yeah. So for being the first, he actually joins the meeting before me, so which is good. So maybe next time, who knows what, and maybe when he comes to me, I'm sure he will get a free coaching for the few minutes he's going to spend with me. Okay. So congratulations to TJ. Please send me an email. Send the mail to hello@enmichael.ng saying you are the person. Drop your phone number there and I will reach out to you. Okay, and then we can arrange how to connect. So I want to thank everyone. Thank you all for joining today's Ask Me Anything with HRwithEM. I hope that you are living with fresh insights, practical steps that you can apply right away. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn. You can see my LinkedIn details are showing on the screen, or YouTube. So I've also shared the YouTube handle for more tips, or book a one-to-one session if you will like deeper guidance. So our next Ask Me Anything session is going to be on the 14th of September. Okay, make sure you mark that date, 14th of September. I look forward to see you then. Until next time, keep growing, keep leading, and keep winning. So bye for now.